Morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, the 25th. That's right. So today, if I'm not mistaken, is the last day for my 750 push-up challenge. I'm going to try to break these up throughout the day, get a nice little run in during lunch, 2 miles. That's usually what I do. But what I wanted to focus on next, I don't think, I'm just going to say it confidently, I'm not going to do 1,000 push-ups a day. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not in prison. That's not I did what I needed to do. It changed me. Physically, it really did change me. It created a very healthy, dedicated regimen that I stuck to, and I've only fallen short on the push-ups twice. So I didn't do push-ups the other on Sunday. The funny thing is, the last 2 Sundays I haven't been able to do them, and that's just because I did trail runs, or I went hiking in the morning, and so that's why I just wasn't able to get the push-ups done. It's just because you get home, and after that, I slept really well that night, and so when I do hiking, it's hard to do any other kind of physical activity because it takes so much out of you that anything like that just becomes, just put it to the side. But so what I think I'm going to do next, I would like to do a sit-up challenge, or at least a crunch challenge, and I'm looking forward to getting back into banging out some hikes in the weekends. And I'm actually going to go to work today and plan for a few days off during the week where I can just take the day off and go up and do a hike one day. Like wake up, leave like I normally leave, for work in the morning, and then go off, do a hike, come back home, and have the rest of the day to just relax. And so the thing is, it's hard to get that time in for yourself to enjoy what you really truly do enjoy. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and that includes taking days off. I'm also taking a lot of days off this year for daycare and for vacations. Because we do annual trips. We do Leavenworth. If you guys have never been to Leavenworth, Washington, I highly advise it, especially during Christmas time. It's a magical time. It feels like a Norman Rockwell, just a very European type of Christmas. And they designed the town to feel like that, and it's become extremely popular. I mean, when I started going when I was a kid, it wasn't as popular, and now it's sort of a huge tourist destination. And so you kind of have to. The crowds are not going to drive us away, but what will drive us away, like last year, it was way too cold. I mean, I'm not sure if it was single digit or low teens. But it was extremely cold, and it was difficult keeping my daughter warm and our daughter warm, and so that was a huge challenge. And so we didn't do that. We had to just go into the car and warm her up. But just things like that make it, like Leavenworth and going to Hawaii. And so we're going to Hawaii again this year. We actually do a savings plan that, a lot of people are like, oh, you got all this money to travel. We don't have a lot of money. What we do is, you guys have heard that challenge where you do every single week, you donate like $1 one week, and then $2 the next week, and then $4 the week after that, and then $8. So you're doubling the previous week every single Friday. And so by the end, we did that one year, and we found out that, towards the end of the year, when you're doing like $250 in December, it really adds up, and it becomes sort of like, well, here's all we had no problem putting it in there, but at the same time, it was like Christmas was there, and you needed money for Christmas. And so what we did is we sort of devised a plan to do like $50 a week and just push that to the side. And so we're doing enough money to where, we can plan a trip or two, because we also go to California every year to see her grandmother, my fiance's grandmother. Because she's in her 90s, and so it's nice to go down there and see all the family and everything like that. And then, another like bigger trip. And so the thing is, with the savings plan, You guys can definitely do that, because what it is, the $1, $2, $4, $8 is supposed to entice you, to get you motivated. But if you're dedicated and you're just willing to do it and not even look at it, just start doing $30 a week. $30 a week is the minimum, because when you think about it, 52 weeks, you get $30. That's over $1,500 at the end of the year that you just set aside, and that right there is a plane ticket and lodging for one person to go to a nice place. You can go to New York. You can go. That's even a plane ticket to Europe. If you want to go, but you won't have enough for lodging, but it's enough. So we do the savings plan like that. We just put money aside, and then whatever's in there, we just divide it by 2, and we just pay for everything off out of that account. And it's gotten to the point where it's nice and high. We're comfortable with the balance, and we just keep adding to it. And like I told you guys about a couple weeks ago, I actually ended up paying off all my debt that I accrued in my college years, excluding my student loans. What I did was, like I told in previous videos, that I actually went into debt over an injury because I didn't have medical insurance. And when I looked at it 2.5 years ago, I was like $18,000 in debt, and that was all medical bills and like one credit card that I used my senior year, after I quit my job, and I had to take one more quarter, and then I moved back home, and so I had a credit card that I just used for everything, and I ended up not being able to pay for it because I didn't have a good accountability. I can't blame anything else besides my own inaction to pay that. So it just became too much for me. So I just kind of pushed it aside and ran from it for all these years. And I confronted all of it about 2 years ago. Took all that debt, broke it into put it together into one monthly payment. I was paying like $500 a month for almost 2 years, and paid it all off. And I don't owe any money anymore except for the student loans and the car loans. So that's a good thing, And so now it's a lot more financial freedom, not having to be accruing interest anywhere, or having debt out there that is considered bad debt. The car loan and the student loans are considered good debt. My credit score will go up and all that. So just becoming financially responsible and planning ahead for trips has really made things easier for me. And so if anyone here wants to go on a trip or start, they feel they don't travel enough, which is something I never really did as a kid. I remember growing up and being on an airplane maybe twice. All the other trips that we took as kids or during my younger years were always driving. I wasn't raised rich. I was not, I was the family that, we had to live in other people's living rooms, and we lived in the poor parts of town. We had to drink powdered milk. We never really had it all. I didn't have a pair of Nikes until I was out of high school. And had to buy those on my own. I just didn't have money growing up. And so travel for me was, I have actually flown more on an airplane in the last like 3 years or 2 years than I did my entire life. And my daughter, in her first year and a half of her life, she's flown on more planes than I had up until when I was 33 or 34 years old. She's going to be, by the time she is 2, she will have gone to Hawaii twice. She will have gone to Arizona. She's gone to California a number of times. And so she's been on a plane far more times in her first 2 years of life than I had my entire life. And so, I think that I think travel is extremely important for a lot of people. I think that when kids graduate high school, a lot of people just, unless you're definitely set on a career and it's your career path, you've gotten all these advanced classes, you've got a scholarship and all of that, I believe it should be highly encouraged among seniors to take a year off and just travel abroad, see the world, see how people live in other countries, and see how other countries treat education, or how other people how much they live off every day money-wise, and just kind of see the world for what it is. Not necessarily visiting the well-off countries. Try to visit places that are beautiful to travel to and have great things to see, but also have populations that make you truly understand and appreciate where you live, living in the United States, being an American, and respecting the fact that of where you come from. And kids complain about certain stuff or certain things, and they don't truly realize how great it is for them. I hear people talk about how negative the world is and how bad situations are and how bad crime and violence has gotten, but I honestly believe that humans are so much more capable of doing so many more bad things, and we haven't done that. And so I think that just because that we're connected wirelessly and with cell phones and technology, that it seems like there's a lot of crime going out there, because a lot more of it is being recorded and put in the news, opposed to back in the day when you had to have an actual camera and a connection to a news organization in order to get that news, those messages out there. So I think everyone now is like a news company. Everyone's a media company. So it seems like things are really bad right now, but I don't believe that they are. I believe that things have always been the same. Things have not gotten worse in a lot of ways. Some things have, but a lot of things haven't. I think people kind of blow things out of proportion because everyone's eyes are fixated on the negativity. So back to the positive. The travel is, I think, extremely important, and I think that a lot of kids should do that because of the fact that travel is one of those things that you could pay $650, $700 for at the new iPhone. I did it because I have the new 7 Plus, iPhone 7 Plus, because of the camera. But for a lot of people, it's they just want to get the greatest thing because they want to be the first one, or one of the first ones to get certain things. And you could pay $700 for a new phone, or you could pay $700 for a plane ticket to a place where you get these memories for the rest of your life. And I think that that's one of the coolest things you can do, because you can never change memories. You can't. All these memories you get for just going out there and doing a vacation and traveling and things like that, it just creates memories that you may never get a chance to do again. People try to put off travel until they retire. I want to go see the world. Well, then go see the world, So I think that investing a little bit to put aside, taking care of all of your other financial obligations, health insurance and your family and everything, and paying your bills, paying all your important bills, and just putting aside a little bit of money every single week to save up for trips to travel and see the world, because it will change your perspective. And one of my biggest things that I want to do this year was to get a passport. Still haven't. I have the paperwork for it. I just haven't done it. And I blame myself for that. But getting out and seeing the world would be a fantastic thing for me. And I think it would be fantastic for everyone else, just to see how the rest of the world lives. And then for high school seniors, they graduate, and if they aren't fully set on a career, it should be highly encouraged for them to go see the world, because when they come back, they're going to have a different perspective on life. They're going to see how great it is in this country, and it's going to create such more of an appreciation that they're going to want to do things to kind of fix things maybe around the world. Maybe they want to join an organization that goes around and helps other countries out, helps children, like UNICEF or World Peace or Greenpeace or something to that regard. Just going out there and seeing and helping the world in some way, or coming home and at least seeing that there are things in this country worth fighting for. So I encourage people to travel, and starting to travel, it's a little difficult at first. There's a lot of people that I come across, tribal members, who haven't been on even an airplane. And I understand people have the struggle growing up, because I had the same thing, but I believe it's something you can easily plan for. It just takes patience and diligence, and you have to stick with the plan. So taking money a little bit every week, and I would suggest, if you want to do that, the 52-week savings plan that you see all these people talking about, and if you look it up, 52-week savings challenge, it starts off every week. There's 52 weeks in a year, so you start the first week off is $1. The second week is $2. The third week is $4, and then the fourth week is $8. And so at the end of January, you have $8, which doesn't seem much, but it adds up really quick because every single week you're doubling the previous week's deposit. So that's pretty much that's one way. The other way, I forgot, I kind of got misconstrued, but the other way is whatever week it is, that's how much money you put in. That's what it was. Okay, so the savings plan was, so if it's week 25, you're putting $25 in. So if it's week 52, you're putting $52 in. And so by December, you're putting in the last 4 weeks of your savings plan. So it's like 48, 49, 50. So you're putting in 49, 50, 51, 52. So you're putting in like $200 in December. And so that's why, we figured out that December was a hard time to put that much money into. And so we just started depositing more money earlier. And we started off with $30 every week. And then now it's like $50. So as long as you can put a little bit away and save it up and go on vacations and travel and see the world, it'll give you a little more appreciation for where you live, and it might even open your eyes to places you might want to live and travel and see more and spend more time there. Because I've seen other places around. I love going on trips. I would love to go to Arizona a couple more times, but I couldn't see myself living there. I like seasons. I went to New York. It was humid and hot in the summertime. And it was actually a year ago today that I was in Cooperstown for Ken Griffey Jr. Hall of Fame induction. And it was super hot and muggy there. Beautiful landscapes, but at the same time, from what I hear from the locals, it snows a lot in the winter times. And so I couldn't see myself having to shovel out of snow like, a few months out of the year and then deal with the hot mugginess for the rest of the year. So I like where I live. So it just gives you a different appreciation for life and where you live. So I would highly encourage anyone to get out there and just travel and see the world. Start now. $30 a week, $15 a week, just a little bit. Put it aside. Don't even look at it. And by the time you're done, with your challenge or with a few months, you notice you have so much money in there. And as long as it's not affecting you that much financially, you won't even notice it. And then by the time you look at it eventually, it's so huge, it's such a large amount that you just want to stick with it forever. You never want to deviate from there. So it's also a good rainy day fund if you ever run across a very difficult time, but I wouldn't suggest doing that. I'd try to find another way to save up money in another account or something like that. But that worked for us. We're going to Hawaii in a few months. Going to Leavenworth every year during Christmas time, which can be pretty pricey. But just creating traditions, making an effort to get out there and travel more and go on vacations and spending time with family and friends. It's a great way to spend life and to create memories. So I will be with you guys tomorrow, Wednesday the 26th. Have a great Tuesday.